All right, it's good to have you with us. We're into week 6 of our limiting beliefs, and for those of you that are joining us on the internet, it's so cool that you're with us, and hopefully you're keeping up with all of the series. Tonight we're going to actually look at a limiting belief around what we pour into our lives, what we get out of our lives, and the interesting part about what I've got a little thing for you here, a little prop that I prepared earlier. What is this? Does anybody know what's in here? Big hut?
Seed, sorry.
Soil!
There's a seed in there. Does that look like seed to you?
Starter. Inside that soil, yes.
Inside that soil, you've got X-ray vision. You can see through that soil and say there's a seed in there. There's no seed in there. Hey?
We propose there's a seed.
You propose. What is this?
Soil.
Potting mix, is it?
Dirt.
And dirt. It's just plain old everyday garden dirt. So.
To get out yours.
So, in this cup, I've got ordinary, everyday soil. You know, the interesting part about this is just like our lives. We can be planted, not yet. We can be planted in soil like this every day. It can be our family, it can be our school environment, it can be our work environment, and we can think that this is all that we know. Our little soil, our little space that we occupy, that's all that we know. And we draw out of that different ideas, different things, different ways of growing and adding to our lives. Now, years ago, in another life, I used to do gardening. I was a landscaper, and I used to be able to dig straight through the soil, and I think, Paul, you'd probably, where'd Paul go? Oh, he's over there. Paul will be the same. You know, if you've done any kind of gardening, you realise that you can, after you've worked with soil for a little while, you can actually tell the condition of a soil just by flipping it over, and all of a sudden you realise why the issues with those plants, why the grass isn't growing so well in certain areas. And it's the same for our lives, is that we think, righto, what's the soil of our lives? And so, in this one, in this pot, look, what do you reckon I've got in here?
Water.
Soil, good, yeah, it is. It is different dirt, yeah, that's for sure. It's different dirt. And for those of you that have ever worked with potting mix, it's got an unusual smell to it, potting mix, you know, and it has become. And the interesting thing about potting mix is that actually there's not much soil in it really at all. It's very rare in potting mix to actually have soil, which is quite interesting considering you can grow stuff in this. But the challenge for here is if you look at those two cups, what do you see?
It's a different colour.
Different colour. Why do you reckon that is?
Because one's better. One's healthy,
One's better. Which one's better?
The blacky one.
The one on my left?
No. Right.
Just tricking. The one on my left. That one. My other left. Yeah. The one on your left. Why?
Because it's prettier.
It looks prettier. So it must be better if it looks prettier. Is that right? Oh, awesome. It's got more nutrients in it. Now, how do you know it's got more nutrients in it?
You can tell by how it looks.
Because it looks richer.
It usually says it on the packet.
It usually says it's very scientific. I read the packet. Yeah, that's probably, yeah. Jamie. It's in a bigger cup, so it's better. Right. Okay. Anybody else want to have a crack? The fact is that this is, yeah. Go.
I was going to say it looks moist.
It looks moist. Yeah. This one looks moister. Is that a word? Or more moist? No, you'll try that. So, moister's all right. I like the word moister. You know, it's like an English person says, "Oh, moister." You know, come over here. So the fact is this, right? These things look different, and you judged instantly that this is a better soil than this one because of the way it looks. It looks richer, it looks healthier, and I told you it was potting mix. What happens if I told you this was potting mix?
Wouldn't believe it.
I'd believe you.
You believe me? Because I'm a tricker. I'm not that kind of guy. Yeah?
Show me the bag it came from.
Oh, so prove it. All right. Why don't you believe me?
Because you just said
Yeah, that'll do.
Because he just said he doesn't. All right. Yep.
Can I taste it?
What?
then it's the bad stuff.
We're keeping Mandy away from all soils tonight in case she starts eating it. So, we're not having this for supper, by the way, darling. So, the challenge for us is simply this. We can look at all of the different things that we have in our lives, and we can think, this one's richer, this one's better, and if we put something in this soil, if we grow up in this soil, we sort of think that it's got everything that we need. And when someone comes along and they offer us a different life, a different opportunity, some things in our life. Now, this is potting mix, by the way. And the fact is, that hundreds of scientists have worked out and calculated out what nutrients need to be in a composition like this to actually make something grow to its full potential. Not just part of its potential. Now you can grow up in this kind of soil and you can see outside here, you can see all the plants growing, and you look at that and go, oh yeah, that soil's doing all right. But how do you know that that plant is reaching its full potential? Just because it's grown.
Well, you put it on your garden and you find out.
Put what on your garden?
Use a magnifying
This isn't potting mix, this is soil. That one, you put that on your garden, that's going to change it. See, if I put this, if I took out a bit of this soil, if I put out a little bit of this soil and put on that, oh, that's lovely. What have I just done?
You changed.
I'm cross-contaminated! Yeah, I'll put chicken with meat. So, has that made a difference to this soil?
No.
A little bit of difference, come on in.
Sprinkle a little bit on the top.
A little bit on the top, hasn't made much difference. It'd probably make a little bit of difference. Now, the interesting part about potting mix is they put all kinds of little bits and pieces in there that have slow activating release. So over a period of time, this is actually calculated out to release nutrients at a certain rate. So that the plant doesn't get steroided, it actually grows and draws in. All it needs is certain. It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating dirt. Now the challenge for us is simply this. We can grow up in this environment and our limiting belief says I can look over there and see that there's something different for my life, and yet fear stops us from going into the other pot, from experiencing other things. I can recall several times through my adolescence into my young adulthood opportunities that came my way and I didn't take them. Because I thought, nah, I didn't believe them. I didn't trust anyone. I figured too good to be true. I figured I'm not good enough for that. I might fail. I might not succeed. All the stuff that was kind of negative talk saying that I'm just not going to make it. And the reality is this soil became my environment in which I grew. Now the problem with this soil is it's deficient. It actually doesn't have enough in it, left in it, to actually, if I was planted, if I was a tree man, and I was stuck in there, it actually wouldn't have enough good stuff in there to actually know whether I've reached my full potential. Now I could have grown, and you'd say, oh yeah, he's doing all right, he looks all right. But how do you know, unless you put yourself in other environments, whether you've actually reached your full potential? So this is the challenge for us this week, guys, is simply you might have refused to be put in different environments like this. You might be too afraid. You might think you're going to fail. By allowing other people to challenge your thinking, to challenge your behaviour, to challenge your environment. For those of you who, I left home when I was 17 and I went to other families and I began to experience other families, and I had this limiting belief that every family was like my family. And when I began to look around, I'm going, oh, I had incredible conflict of these contradictions of families that I could see that were like better, healthier. And do you know what I began to do? I began to get so afraid of this new environment, I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll just leave and go back here. Because I know this soil. I know all its ins and outs. I know what it can and can't do. I know what the boundaries are within this soil. I'm going to go back here. Why? Why do we do that? Yes. You're used to it. It's familiar. Now, if this had more clay in it, that would be even a harder environment to grow in. So all of a sudden, I'm going to say, nah, this new thing over here that I'm experiencing, I've got an opportunity to do, I'm just not going to do it. Before I even consider what could be the opportunities here, I'm just going, no. I wonder how many of you do that. You just say, no, change, oh, the minute you use the change word, I'm out. Yeah, but, no, yeah, but, yeah, Have you ever been like that? Someone going to tell you something? Have you ever been like that? I've been like that at times, especially when I know I'm wrong. Someone's trying to tell me I'm wrong, and they'll say, Phil, you're wrong, and I'll say, not listening, haven't I done that to you, Mary? You know, and Beck will testify to that too. You know, there's several times that I just go, No, a couple of times. That I've been wrong. And I just don't want to listen to it. I say, no, it can't be any different. This is the way it is. I'm limiting my belief that anything could possibly change. Now, here's a fascinating little thing for you. Here is a seed. Now, I want you to be very, very careful. This is a very precious seed. I'm going to tell you why in a moment. I want you to take one, pass it on. Now, we have counted. There are 80 seeds in that cup. Even though it doesn't look like it, there are 80 seeds in that cup. This particular seed, anybody, once you get it, you'll have a look at it. Now, for some of you, you'll know what it is. Yes? No cheating, yeah?
Carrot tree.
It's a carrot.
Oh, I just guessed.
I've never seen a carrot seed, actually. That's awesome.
No, I'm taking this no.
Then it's no. Yes.
Sunflower seed.
Excellent. You know, the cockatoos that used to come and rip off my garden love the sunflower seed. Now, have any of you ever planted sunflowers?
No.
I
Yeah?
tried to, but they didn't work.
Well, have we got an experiment for you tonight? What I'm giving you is a fascinating little seed. This is a sunflower seed. Now, the incredible part about a sunflower is that nobody really knew way back 3,000 years ago the potential that was in a sunflower. Do you know, in the head of a sunflower, there are somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 individual flowers just in the bud alone. And inside each of those buds are seeds. And they have figured out over years that they can use just about every single part of the sunflower for all kinds of things in life, like sunflower oil, cooking oil, right through to medicines and all kinds of things they've used sunflower seeds for. And the interesting, you know why they call it a sunflower?
Does it look like
Was
sun?
it? I don't know.
It does look like a sun.
Because it faces the sun.
It follows the sun. If you've ever been if you go, I think, like just up the highway a bit near Whitfield, I think they used to have these big fields of sunflowers out there. It's fascinating to watch. The sunflowers, when they opened, they would actually follow the movement of the sun. It is kind of eerie, yeah.
The scientific name is phototropism.
I know. I saw that in the explanation and thought, I'm not saying that, but you just did. So that word that she said. An incredible part about this, right, is every single one of you have got a seed tonight, and what we're going to do is we're going to give every single one of you.
Can you eat it?
That's the fascinating part, you can, but not tonight.
It tastes good.
We want to create more for you. What we're going to do is we've prepared earlier the soil for you to take your seed. This is your very own sunflower seed. And you're going to take it home and you're going to plant it. But the challenging part... Yes?
And if it fails?
You're a very negative person. We need to talk.
No.
Yeah. If it fails, we'll give you another seed.
Yay!
But
I'm really not
should
gonna fail.
it... Well, the reason we want... The way we'll help you to not fail is we've given you a little instruction on how to actually grow your sunflower. How to make it work. Now, these sunflowers can get from anywhere from 2 inches to 13 feet.
Oh, mine's 13 feet already.
Yours is 13 feet already. Nice. Now, we're going to get you to put it in the soil. Now, for some of you, you're going to take care of it. You're going to go, I really want to see this sunflower work. But others of you, you won't care. Some of you just won't care. You go, stupid thing, who wanted that anyway?
Mine's going to be the biggest.
And see, that's how you apply stuff to your life. Yours is going to be this. Yeah, Jamie.
Plants have a weird way of finding the sun. Like they've done tests where they've planted a seed in like a box, cut like a maze through it, and it's grown its way up to the hole to get the sun.
Amazing. So if that's true, right? If that's true... Beg your pardon?
Was that a pun?
What?
She's like, they cut like a maze and I went through the maze and you've just gone amazing.
I'm too good, mate. Anyway, the challenge for us is simply this. In your life right now, there are some things, some family environments, some work environments, some school environments that you just feel like there's just nothing left. There's just nothing left in it. There's no nutrients left in it. There's nothing left for you to be able to draw anything from it. And so I want to encourage you tonight that maybe you need to try something a little different. Maybe you need to take some care about your seed, the stuff that's in you, about where you're actually drawing your nutrients from. Is it your friendship circle? Is it your family? Now, for some people, we have had the privilege at times and I know this sounds weird to say it's a privilege of moving somebody out of a family into a healthier family, but that has been a fantastic privilege sometimes. I am not into splitting up families, but what I am interested in is putting young people in healthier environments in which they can grow. And sometimes some of our families are so negative, so draining, and no life left in them, that we might need to move ourselves into a different environment in order to experience growth. And that can be a scary experience. That can take concentration, just like looking after this seed. You're going to have to put it in the sun, you're going to have to water it, you're going to have to care for it, and then that's not all. Once this thing begins to pop up, you're going to have to take it out of this cup.
Oh, we get to keep it in the cup at first.
Yes, you do.
Oh, cool.
I know. So the challenge is you get to take this home, you grow it in this cup, and then you've got to take it out of this cup for it to reach its full potential. You're going to have to think carefully in your garden, or your parents' garden, or your neighbour's garden, that would be funny, to put it in your neighbour's garden, and look at the soil condition and think, I want my sunflower to reach its full potential, and I'm going to look for the best environment for it in which I want it to grow.
I'm going to buy a big flower pot. It's going to be the biggest. I've already told my seed.
You've already told your seed you're going to be big. I love that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, come. Yeah.
No, the cups.
Yeah. So I'm going to get the girls to hand you out a cup of soil. Please be careful with the soil. Don't go, didn't care about the seed anyway. Because you know, the fact is, I want you to take this and I want you to sit it at home somewhere, hopefully in the sun. You'll take the instructions with it. But the challenge is simply this. It is a very simple way of looking at your life and some of your limiting beliefs. You might, in the next couple of days, in the next couple of weeks or months, you might get an opportunity to experience something different. I want you to say, yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to say, no, yeah, good. Yeah. I want in yourself, nice.
No.
I want you to say, you know what? I'm going to do it afraid. I'm going to look at this opportunity as something that's going to grow me and help me reach my full potential, and look at how the soil that you've been planting. Now, that might mean that you move home. That might mean you change jobs, change school, change friendship circles. Hello. Just don't know. Hang on to your seat. I know it's exciting. And it'll take about, how many days, how many weeks are we talking? I think it takes up to 12 weeks to get full size, yeah? That's all good, eh? Big pardon? You can put your seed in any time you like, Stevie.
Is there a correct way the seed needs to go into
In the
growth?
center.
You have to put a hole in it. You have to
Like,
No, what is the top and the bottom of the
Stick
seed?
your finger in it.
There you go.
I don't think it really matters. Stick a little hole in it.
It'll grow itself. It'll grow in direction.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, it'll come there. Right. Now your little seed, I've lost my seed. It's buried. Now, guys, you can look at your seed. What's fascinating is you're asking me, is there a certain way for it to grow? The challenge about a seed is it will naturally grow towards the sun.
So it doesn't matter which
So
one.
it doesn't really matter which way you go. The challenge is actually putting it in a different soil. So that's the same as your life. Sometimes we can think, oh, we'll wait until we've got it all right, until we've got it all in the right direction before we take a step forward. And you don't have to do that. That's the limiting belief right there. Is I'll wait until I've got all my stuff together. I'll wait until I've got all the money. I'll wait until I've got new clothes. I'll wait until I've educated myself until I can move into a new environment. Guys, this is simple. This is such a simple example that you can look at. And look, if your flower dies, somebody hacks it with a weed whacker or whatever it is, I don't care. The reality is this is about your life, about confronting your limiting belief about you. It doesn't matter whether you're in this soil or not, just get in the soil. Just get into some fresh environment. Stop living back here in the old junky stuff. And start putting yourself in soils that help grow you, develop you, and give you nutrients. And for some of you, it'll start slow. And for some of you, it won't go fast enough. So you'll think, I want to microwave the seed. I just want to grow it. It will not work. Do not stick it in the microwave. It will not work. It won't pop like popcorn. Yes.
Yeah, still Kyle, it'll work.
It is not animal.
Question. When you put it in the greenhouse,
Greenhouse is good. Why? Why is it good in a greenhouse?
Because it concentrates the sunlight, keeps it warm, keeps it humid.
So you're creating, Benny, an environment for this thing to grow.
Can I just put it under my bed?
Greenhouse.
It's consistent. The thing about a greenhouse, it is consistent. Now, the challenge for growing sunflowers, of course, is the spring frost is what kind of nails it a little bit. So just be careful where you place it in the first couple of weeks.
Keep it inside near a window ledge.
Love your work. So you might want to stick it on the window ledge. And when you see that baby pop, I want to see it on our Facebook and say, "What's he got?" You know, in so to speak. It's something like that. So we can wrap this up. We're going to get you to go into a small group situation in a moment. I want you to think for a second. Before you go into that environment, because sometimes it's hard to share in this environment, have you settled for old soil, for nasty soil? Are you living currently in a place, in a space, where soil, you're not growing? You're not feeling anything. You're not drawing your family members, your school, your work, your friends. You just feel like, oh man, this just feels like a desert. I need to move environments now. If somebody in that group gives you some advice, just a little bit of advice, they may not give you all the nutrients. They might just give you a little bit of advice. Maybe take that little bit of advice and reflect on it. Because that actually might change the way that you grow over these next couple of weeks. And I want to challenge you, as your seed grows, challenge yourself to grow beyond your own limiting belief. Beyond what your family of origin was. Beyond what you think about yourself. Whether you think you're smart, whether you think you're dumb, whether you think you're too short, too tall, too fat, too thin, whatever it is, begin to think about things that are different to how you've seen it before. Somebody said to me the other day, they had a situation that melted down and they sent me a text message and they said, "I've done the same effing thing again. Why am I such an F up?" And I said, "You know what?" And then they said, "How do I change?" I said, "You know, a simple way on how to change, do the opposite of what you're currently doing. Just do the opposite. So when you want to be bad, just be good. When you want to run, stay. When you want to fight, stop." That would be bad. That wouldn't be a bad way of doing it. Just do the opposite. I said, "Can you do the opposite?" They went, "Well, I guess I can." Then I said, "I can't." I said, "Then nothing's going to change. It's going to remain the same."
A life moral.
So, for this week, I want to encourage you. For those of you watching on the video, get your own sunflower seed. Plant it and journey with us and put it on our Facebook. Have a look and see the differences you make. So, again, for all of you guys, we're going to separate